What does the word believe exactly mean? We would like to properly understand this word, as such a beautiful love of God wants the creature to properly understand it. So, the word believe simply means and only one thing, which is such a proper, obvious, and complete understand to the truth by the proof that it is undoubtedly the truth, so that the creature can then undoubtedly believe in that this is undoubtedly the truth. So, from where the creature is going to properly understand, properly, obviously, and completely understand the truth by the proof that it is undoubtedly the truth. Such a beautiful love of God simply explains to the creature that the creature is going to properly, obviously, and completely understand the truth by the proof that it is undoubtedly the truth from such this big message that has been sent from the Creator, who is such a beautiful lover God, to the creature, who must be a real lover to such his beautiful lover God. Such this big message is exactly such a beautiful paradise building of the creature as a complete proving building with the whole of its certain parts all together. Each certain part must be in its certain place, meaning each certain part must be properly understood by the creature as such a beautiful love of God wants the creature to properly understand it. So, better also here to remember that the difference between the big message and the small message. The big message is such a beautiful paradise complete building, meaning such eternal and complete happiness building, in between brackets, uncountable bestow proving happiness by uncountable bestow proving graces that must all totally be considered by the creature as his own beautiful paradise building, meaning as his own eternal and complete happiness building, meaning as the complete proving building upon the truth that it is undoubtedly the truth, meaning as a complete proving building upon such his beautiful love of God real existence and his as well beautiful real aim behind start creating, which is the aim of love. This is the big message. So, what about the small message? The small message is such message in which such a beautiful love of God, the small message is such message that has been sent with each messenger to each nation the same message, but only by each nation language. They already speak and understand. So this small message contains, was being sent, contained nothing but only such a same detailed explanation of the truth, meaning such a same detailed explanation of such and only one same aim behind start creating, which is the aim of love. Also, this small message was containing and only one same religion to the whole nations of real lovers to such a dear, beautiful lover God. And we already knew what does the word religion mean. So better also here to remember that this is to remember that better also here to remember that such a beautiful love of God simply explained to the creature that it was and it will still be and only one same aim behind start creating by such beautiful love of God, which is the aim of love. Also it was and it will still be and only one same message contains no more no less but only the same detailed explanation of such a truth, the same meaning, the same detailed explanation of such that same aim behind started creating all nations of real lovers of their fearful love of God. Either all nations, either the previous nations and the next nations as well. Also, this small message was containing and only one same religion to the whole nations. And we already knew what does the word religion mean. So better also here to remember that it was and it will still be and only one same aim behind start creating, which is the aim of love. It was and it will still also be and only one same message contains nothing but only detailed explanation of such a same aim behind start creating, which is the aim of love. Also it was and it will still be and only one religion to the whole nations of real God lovers to their beautiful love of God. So this is the big message and this is the small message. We already talk about the difference between this big message and the small message. We already talk about both of them before, so we just try. We are not going to repeat our words. So the creature is going to properly, obviously, and completely understand the truth by the proof that it is undoubtedly the truth from such big message that sent from the creator to the creature, that sent from the creator who is such a beautiful love of God to the creature who must be a real lover such as beautiful love of God, forgetting the creature to obviously, properly, obviously, and completely understand the truth by the proof that it is undoubtedly the truth. Such beautiful love of God also simply explained to the creature that the creature must properly understand that this small message that has been sent that was being sent by the Creator, with each messenger to each nation with their language they are speaking and then understanding. Such a beautiful love of God simply explained to the creature that the creature must properly understand that this small message must be considered by the creature by the whole its verses as an only one verse in such big message, which is the beautiful paradise building of the creature as a complete proving building upon the truth that it is undoubtedly the truth. So this small message must be considered by the creature as also a certain proving part in such a beautiful paradise building of the creature. Such a beautiful paradise building as a complete proving building upon the truth that it is undoubtedly the truth. Such a complete proving building which consists, which can never ever at all be a complete proving building upon the truth without the whole of its certain parts altogether. Each certain part must be in its certain place, meaning each certain part must be properly understood just like that. Meaning must be properly understood as such a beautiful love of God wants the creature to properly understand it, just like that. So the believing here, it must be here, just like that. The word believe, it must be properly understood, just like that. As such a beautiful love of God wants the creature to properly understand the word believe, just like that. The word religion, here, so it must be here, just like that. The word proof, the word happiness, the word love, the word message, the word messenger, the word mind, meaning the heart, meaning the soul or spirit, meaning yourself, meaning your chest. All those names meaning the same meaning. The female, the woman here, so it must be here. The proper image of the woman, the proper image of the female here, so it must be here, just like that. It must be understood, just like that. As such a beautiful love of God wants the creature to properly understand it. This is the proper image of the female, as a mother, as a sister, as a daughter, as a teacher. Also, this is the proper image of the male, as a father, as a son, as a teacher, as a brother. So we already now knew what does the word believe exactly mean. So let us now talk about believing in God. Let us now talk about the kinds of believing that such our beautiful love of God want to us to properly understand. So the first kind of believing is believing in God. So such a beautiful love of God has aimed at getting each creature to properly understand believing in God, meaning the creature must believe in God as such beautiful lover God, as a real existence, as a beautiful God, as a real existence, as a lover God, as a real existence, as a creator God, as a real existence, as the creator of everything, who has merely aimed to start creating everything just for love, for being known as a beautiful lover God, as a real existence, as a beautiful God, as a real existence, as a lover God, as a real existence, as a creator God, as a real existence. And this is why that such a beautiful lover God, as this is the main aim behind starts creating by the God, by the creator. So that's why such a beautiful lover God has aimed manifesting himself to the creature by all his holy beautiful names, with which he aimed getting the creature to know his creator with as a beautiful lover God, as a real existence. So such holy beautiful names such as, for example, the beautiful name, the lover, the sustainer, the bestower, the generous, the able, the aimer, who is able to aim whatever he wants, and who is also able to implement whatever he aims as well. So aiming an aim is an ability, and implementing what you aim, it is another ability. So such a beautiful love of God is aimer. But note here, please, that such a beautiful love of God, who is the creator of everything, who is the creator of the word, and the creator of the meaning of the word, and the creator of the letters of the word. So better here to remember the difference between the ability of the creator and the ability of the creatures. So we are talking about that such our beautiful love of God has aimed at manifesting himself to the creature. He has aimed at manifesting himself to each creature in his own beautiful paradise building by all his holy beautiful names, with which he has aimed at getting the creature to know his creator as a beautiful love of God, as a real existence. So such beautiful love, such holy beautiful names, such as the beautiful name, the name, the wisdom, the bestower, the beautiful, the lover, the bestower, the generous. So all names of such our beautiful love of God are names of happiness, are names of bestowing happiness to the creature. So that's why such a beautiful love of God has aimed at getting the creature to know all the holy, beautiful names of such a beautiful love of God as the names of happiness, the names of love, because it means all the names means uh, each one of those names indicates or means um, such meaning of bestowing happiness, bestowing, proving happiness to the creature, proving happiness upon his love to the creature, which indicates, of course, to his real existence as a beautiful love of God. And his as well beautiful real aim behind started creating, which is the aim of love. So it's better here, while we are talking about believing in God, who is such a beautiful love of God, it's proper to remember here that such a beautiful love of God has aimed manifesting himself to each creature in his own beautiful paradise building by all his holy beautiful names with which such a beautiful love of God has aimed at getting the creature to know his creator as a beautiful love of God, as a beautiful God, as a real existence, as a beautiful God, as a real existence, as a lover God, as a real existence, as a creator God, as a real existence, and so on. As a wisdom God, as a real existence, as an able, as able God, as a real existence, as bestower God, as a real existence, as aimer God, as a real existence, as imager God, as a real existence, and so on. Also, better here to remember that such a beautiful love of God has simply that such a beautiful love of God simply explained to the creature that the whole beautiful that all his holy beautiful names are really names of love, names of happiness, names of bestowing, proving happiness by bestowed graces to the creature. So that's why the whole beautiful holy names of such a beautiful love of God are the names must be considered by the creature as the names of happiness, as the names of love, as the names of bestowing, bestow proving happiness by bestow proving graces. Um, so better also here to remember the difference between the creator and the creature um, by talking about the name which is the able. So better also here to talk about the ability of the creator and the ability of the creature. And one of such beautiful holy name of such a beautiful love of God is the beautiful name of able. So such a beautiful love of God is able. This is a one of such holy beautiful names of such a beautiful love of God with which he aimed at getting the creature to know him as a beautiful love of God, as a real existence. So the name able, such a beautiful holy name of such a beautiful love of God, which is the able, it must be properly understood by the creature. So let us talk a little bit about this name so that we can properly believe in it, so that we can properly understand it, and then we can believe in it as it has to be. Um, we will take beside this name another names. such as the name aimer and the name imager. So, as we were talking, aiming an aim is an ability, and implementing what you aim is another kind of ability. So such a beautiful love of God is the able, is the ever able, who can aim whatever he wants, who is able to aim whatever he wants, and who is also able to implement whatever he aims as well. And the better also here to talk about the difference between the aim and the implementing the aim by the Creator, who is such a beautiful love of God, and the aim and the implementing the aim by the creature, who just a creature with such limited ability. The creature who must be a real lover, such is beautiful love of God, but he is a creature with such his limited ability in aiming and in implementing his aim. Maybe sometimes the creature aim to do something and he find himself suddenly that he is going to prevent it by more and more preventions. Why? Because he is just a creature with such limited ability in aiming and in implementing what he aims. While the Creator, he is the ever able. He is the able. He is able to aim whatever he wants and to implement as well whatever he aims. And nothing can prevent it. Nothing can preventing him. Nothing can prevent him from whatever he aims and from whatever he implements what he aims. Also, another name, another one of such beautiful holy names of such a beautiful love of God that we must properly studying it as it has to be. We must carefully studying it for proper understanding, for then properly understanding it, and then we can believe in it as it has to be, which is the aim of imager. The aim of imager. The aim imager, such a beautiful aim, which is the imager, is also one of such holy, beautiful names of such a beautiful love of God, with which he aimed getting the creature to know his creator with as a beautiful love of God, as a real existence, as a love of God, as a real existence, as a beautiful God, as a real existence, as a creator God, as a real existence, as a beautiful God, as a real existence, as able God, as a real existence, as imager. As imager God, as a real existence. Image as a real existence. Imager, it means the creator. Imager means the creator. So, such a beautiful love of God, one of such a beautiful love of God names is the creator, and another name is the imager. So, such a beautiful, it means that such a beautiful love of God is able to create and he is also able to image the creature. He is creating him in whatever any image he wants. And he explained to us that he always image he explained to us, and such a beautiful love of God simply explained to us that as his main aim behind starting creating it is the aim of love, meaning specifically the aim of being known as beautiful love of God as a real existence. So that's why he has aimed creating uh, and imaging the all creatures kinds in such a beautiful image that indicates that he is a beautiful love of God as a real existence. So such a beautiful love of God simply explained to us that as his main aim behind starts creating it is the same is the aim of love. So that's why he has imaged all creatures kinds in such a proper image uh, that can be beautiful um, and that can indicate to him as a beautiful love of God as a real existence, as a beautiful God as a real existence, as a creator God as a real existence, as a beautiful imager who create uh, beautiful creatures with beautiful image so that he can be known as a beautiful and lover God through such a beautiful uh, image of the creatures he already created them. So look at this beautiful flower. It's very beautiful. It indicates that the creator of it, the imager of it, is a beautiful. It is a beautiful lover God. It is a real existence. He is a real existence. And the proof is such this beautiful image of the flower. Such this beautiful image of this beautiful apple fruit. Such this beautiful image of this beautiful tree. This beautiful sky. This beautiful stars. This beautiful moon. This beautiful sun. This beautiful river. Seas. Birds. And so on. So such a beautiful love of God has simply explained to us that as his main aim behind started creating was such that beautiful real aim of love, that's why he has aimed creating all creatures kinds as a beautiful creatures. And he has lovely, generously, and properly, beautifully created and imaged the whole creatures kinds in a beautiful images, so that once each creature look at the other, so that all those creatures kinds, when they are going to look at each other, they can then simply properly understand that the creator of them, the imager of them, the creator of them is such a beautiful lover God. And he is a real existence as a beautiful God, as a lover God, as a beautiful creator God, as a beautiful imager God, as a beautiful lover God. And of course, he is a lover God because none will plan or prepare for making you happiness by beautifying to you, for making you happiness, unless he really loves you and really wants to prove his real love to you by beautifying to you for making you happiness. So we are still talking about believing in God and how such a beautiful love of God uh, want us to properly uh, believe in Him as a beautiful love of God. So we must believe in such a beautiful love of God as a beautiful love of God by the proof, which is such a beautiful paradise building of each one of us, of each creature. Each one of us has been created in his own beautiful paradise building, meaning in his own eternal complete happiness building, specifically in the first floor of his own beautiful paradise building, which is the first world life of him. And such a beautiful love of God has simply explained to each one of us that there will be another high floors of eternal and complete happiness over there in the same beautiful paradise building of each one of us, where more and more eternal and complete happiness building, eternal and complete happiness will be waiting for each one of us. So just in case of walking in the first floor, and we already knew what kind of walk that the creature must walk. It is love, but it must be a real love, and which can never ever, and the real love to such from the creature to such his beautiful love of God can never ever be a real love unless it must be with such a proper way, which is the worshipping. This is the proper image of real love. This is the proper image uh, that the creature can prove his real love to such his beautiful love of God, which is the image of worshipping, meaning the religion, meaning such respectful and grateful thanking by the whole beautiful moralities, such respectful and grateful thanking by the creature while he is beautifying himself by the pitiful moralities, while he is respectfully and gratefully thanking such his beautiful love of God because of such big grace, such love, meaning such love that such a beautiful love of God started the creature, started each creature at first. Such love that lovely, generously, and properly represented by such a beautiful love of God in a real paradise building, meaning in a real eternal and complete happiness building. In between brackets, uncountable bestow proving happiness by uncountable bestow proving graces that must all totally be considered by the creature as his own beautiful paradise building, meaning as his own eternal and complete happiness building, meaning as a complete proving building upon the truth that it is undoubtedly the truth, meaning as a complete proving building upon such a beautiful love of God real existence and his as well beautiful real aim behind such creative, which is the aim of love. So the more the creature will properly understand, so the more such a beautiful love of God will get the creature to know more and more from his holy beautiful names, the more the creature will properly understand the truth more and more, reaching finally to such obvious and complete understand the whole truth by the whole of its certain parts altogether. Meaning reaching finally to properly, obviously, and completely know, understand, realize such his beautiful love of God real existence as a beautiful love of God as a real existence, as a love of God as a real existence, as a beautiful God as a real existence, as a love of God as a real existence, as a wisdom God as a real existence, as a bestower God as a real existence, as a generous God as a real existence, as an aimer God as a real existence, as imager God as a real existence, and so on. This is all what we can say about how to believe in God. Another kind of believing, which is believing in angels. So such a beautiful love of God has simply explained to the creature that the creature must believe in angels as they are the soldiers of such a beautiful love of God, with which the soldiers of such a beautiful love of God, that He is all the time supporting His real lovers through the times with. So the creature must believe in angels as they are the soldiers of God, that such a beautiful love of God is always supporting His real lovers with. And by the way, better also here to remember that it's not condition that those real lovers whom will be supported by such a beautiful love of God, it's no condition that they will be messengers. So such a beautiful love of God supports all His real lovers by angels, by His soldiers, meaning by His angels, whether His real lovers, while those real lovers are messengers or just followers of the messengers. But better also here to remember that each real lover must be considered, must be properly understood by the creature as the messenger. So being a messenger, meaning being a messenger and then honestly inform the message as it has been honestly informed to you, this is a part of such a proper way of proving real love from the creature to the creator. So each real lover must be considered, must be properly understood by the creature as a messenger. This is what does the word messenger mean as such a beautiful love of God want the creature to properly understand it. As a certain proving part of the truth, as a certain proving part of the beautiful paradise building, as a complete proving building about the truth that it is undoubtedly the truth. Another kind of believing, which is believing in such a small message and the messengers of it. We already knew what does the word big message mean, and we already knew what does the word small message mean. The small message means the small message means such a same message that has been sent. The small message, it is the message that was sent with each messenger to each nation by each nation language. This small message, it is the message, it is the same message that was sent, the same one with each messenger to each nation by their language they are speaking, and then they can understand. So this small message simply was being sent contains uh, nothing but only the same detailed explanation of such same aim behind start creating, which is the aim of love. And also this small message was also containing such a same religion to all nations, either the previous ones and the next ones. So also this small message contains the detailed explanation of the truth, meaning contains the detailed explanation of the detailed explanation with which this small message also contains. We can say also that this small message contains nothing but only such a detailed explanation of the truth by the names, by the words as a grace, as a one of bestow proving graces, the word which consists of a letters, the letter beside the letter, so the word can be built. And the word beside the word, the verse can be built. And the verse beside the verse, the message can then be built. This is a small message. And the whole verses of this small message must be considered by the Creator as an only one verse in such big message, which is the beautiful paradise building of the Creator, as a complete proving building upon the truth that it is undoubtedly the truth, such a complete proving building that can never ever at all be a paradise building, meaning that can never ever at all be a complete proving building upon the truth without the whole of its certain parts altogether. Each certain part must be in its certain place. So this small message must be considered as a certain part in such this complete proving building, in such this beautiful paradise building of the Creator, as a complete proving building upon the truth that it is undoubtedly the truth. So it is an only, so such a beautiful love of God has simply explained that it was and it will still be and only one same aim behind start creating, which is the aim of love, by such a beautiful love of God. Also it was and it will still be forever such an only one same message, which contains nothing but only such a same truth, meaning such a same detailed explanation of the same aim behind start creating, which is the aim of love. Also this small message, also it was and it will still be forever and only one religion for all nations of real lovers to such a beautiful love of God, either the previous nations and also the next nations as well. So only one same aim behind start creating, which is the aim of love. Only one message contains nothing but only such this same aim, such detailed explanation of such this same aim behind start creating, which is the aim of love. Also only one religion. So that's why such a beautiful love of God has explained to us that the Creator must never ever at all differentiate in between those messengers of such same small message, because it is the same message and each messenger was being sent with the same message. So no need at all and also no reasonable reason at all tells us to differentiate between those messengers of such same small message. So that's why such a beautiful love of God has simply explain to the creature that the creature, for being a real lover, for believing in such this small, for believing in, we are talking about another kind of believing, which is the believing in message and the messengers. So we already talked about the difference between the big message and the small message. So you must be a real lover. You must properly believe in such a big message, and you must also properly the creature must properly believe in the big message, and also he must properly believe in the small message. But he must first of all know the difference between the big message and the small message. So then he can then properly believe in each one of them as it has to be. So now we already knew the difference between the big message and the small message, and now the creature can properly believe as it has to be in such big message and such a small message, and also the creature can then properly believe in the messengers as well, without differentiating at all in between any of them. Because as such a beautiful love of God simply explained to the creature, there is, there was, and there is, there was, and there will never ever at all be forever any reason, any reasonable reason tells us that it must be differentiate between of them. Why? Why are we going to differentiate between of them? No need, no reasonable reason to differentiate in between those messengers who were the messengers of such same small message. So those people who are differentiating in between those messengers of such same small message didn't properly understand how to properly believe in message and messenger. This is a kind of believing that must be properly understood by the creature. So those who are differentiating in between messengers of such this same small message, they didn't those who are differentiating in between messengers in their love to them and in their believing and say this better than this messenger, and saying this messenger better than the other, or this messenger is more honorable than the other, or is more is he or this messenger um, is close to such a beautiful love of God more than the others, things like that. So those who is differentiating in between messengers in their loving to them, their believing to them, of course they didn't properly understand from such deep beautiful love of God how to properly believe this kind of believing, which is the believing in message and messengers. So believing in message and the messengers is a kind of believing. It must be properly understood as it has to be, meaning as such a beautiful love of God wants the creature to properly understand it. So that's it. Another kind of believing, which is the believing in the last day. Such a beautiful love of God wants the creature to know the last day. Listen carefully, please, because this is a very important detailed explanation. Such a beautiful love of God wants the creature to know the last, to properly believe in the last day, as the last day must be properly understood by the creature as the day of his death, meaning the day of his the last day of his staying in his first world life, which must be considered, which is supposed to be considered by the Creator while he was living in it as the first floor of his own beautiful paradise building. So that's why he was all the time care about. So that's why he was the creature who was caring about carefully read the message and then properly understand the message, and then he already understood properly the message as the message of happiness, and then he properly understood such this happiness in all aspects of his life, and then he can finally win such his own eternal and complete happiness building, meaning he then finally he win, then he can finally win such his own paradise building, meaning his own eternal and complete happiness building, meaning he will finally such his properly understanding to the truth by the proof that it is undoubtedly the truth, and his properly understanding to the truth, including at the same time properly understanding to his own beautiful paradise building, meaning his own eternal and complete happiness building, as a complete proving building upon the truth that it is undoubtedly the truth, meaning as a complete proving building upon such his beautiful love of God real existence, and his as well beautiful real aim behind start creating, which is the aim of love. This is the win. This is what does the word winning mean exactly, as such beautiful love of God wants you to understand it. We are hearing nowadays more and more people talking about winning. So if you would like to know what does the word winning mean, this is what does the word winning mean exactly, as such beautiful love of God wants you to understand it. If you would like to know anything about anything, you must go directly for knowing it from the creator of everything. This is what such beautiful love of God wants you to properly understand it. So the creature who is a real lover, who always, so the creature who has such honest of carefully reading the message from the beginning, for being a real God lover, such is beautiful love of God, carefully such honest intention, the creature who has such honest intention from the beginning for proving his real love to such his beautiful love of God, and then he start carefully reading the message to read about how he is going to prove his real love to such his beautiful love of God. And of course he already knew that it must be by such a proper way, which is the worshipping, which is the religion, which is such a respectful and grateful thanking by beautiful moralities, meaning such beautiful and such respectful and grateful thanking, but while he is purifying himself with such whole beautiful moralities, and after he already knew that from the message, he starts properly imply that after he theoretically properly understood the message, the truth, the proper way with which he is going to prove his real love, such his beautiful love of God, after he theoretically understood the message as a message of happiness, the message of truth, the message of love, and after he theoretically understood such a proper way of, with which he can prove his real love, such his beautiful love of God, he also still keeps such honest intention to practically prove his real love to such his beautiful lover God. And he's still going on in working on he's proving his real love to such his beautiful lover God. He was all the time caring about working on proving his real love to such his beautiful lover God by such a proper way, which is the worshipping, which is the religion, which is such respectful and grateful thanking by such a beautiful moralities. So this creature who care all the time to be a real lover to such his beautiful lover God, who care all the time to prove his real love to such his beautiful lover God by such a proper way that he theoretically properly understand it, carefully read it, and properly understand it, and properly applying it. This creature who was in his first world life, caring all the time about how to prove his real love, such his beautiful lover God, by such a proper way, which is the way of worshipping, the way of religion, the way of respectful and grateful thanking to such his beautiful lover God by the beautiful moralities. So he was all the time asking himself, can this word that I'm going to pronounce it, or can this action that I'm going to doing it, can that be from what it has to be properly done by the real lover, or from what it has not to be properly done by the real lover? So this creature was caring all the time to be a real lover, such his beautiful lover God, was asking himself all the time, whether when I'm going to pronounce it or doing it, is it from what it has to be done by the real lover, or from what it has not to be done by the real lover? So this creature who is a real God lover, when the last day, when the death comes already to him, when the time of death comes already to him, when the last day of him comes already to him, such a beautiful lover God simply explained to this creature, for getting him to properly understand that he must properly understand the death of him, meaning the last day of his staying, the last day of his staying period in his first world life. Such a beautiful lover God has simply explained to this creature that he must consider his death, or the last day of him, the last day of his staying period in his first world life. He must consider this day, this last day, as just the door which is separating his first floor, his first life, which is the first floor of his own beautiful paradise building, the separating door which separating in between his first life, which is the first floor of his own beautiful paradise building, and such high floors of his own beautiful paradise building as well. So such a beautiful lover God has simply explained to this creature who is the real God love, who is a real lover, such as beautiful lover God, has simply explained to him, for getting him to properly understand the death as it has to be, for getting him to properly understand that this such beautiful love of God has simply explained to this creature who is a real lover, such his beautiful love of God, for getting him to understand that this as a one of such those still proving graces of the paradise, as as a certain proving part of the paradise, as a grace, so that this is not a bad thing. That this must never ever at all be considered as a bad thing by the creature who care all the time to be a real lover, such his beautiful love of God. So, such a beautiful love of God has simply explained to this creature, this honest creature, who is a real, who was caring all the time in his first floor, in his first life, to be a real lover, such his beautiful love of God. Such beautiful love of God explained to him that he must consider, that he must properly understand that this as a grace. How that? He explained to him in details. What does the word this mean? What does the word the last day of him in this first life means exactly? So the creature then properly understood that this day, the day of his death, or the last day of him, must be considered by him as just the separating door that is separating his first world life, which is the first floor of his beautiful paradise building, and the high floors of his own beautiful paradise building. So when this day comes to this creature, what does that mean? It means that this day here, the last day of this real lover, such is beautiful lover God, the last day here of this real lover means exactly that the open, that the door is going to be open, and then he will find himself being promoted by such his beautiful love of God. Then he will find himself surrounded by more and more beautiful angels, celebrating him, celebrating by him, celebrating with him, because he is one of such those real lovers, such those honorable, beautiful real lovers. They are deserved. They are deserved. They are. He is one of those who are deserving prizes, deserving being promoted in their high floors of their beautiful paradise buildings. So they are deserving prizes. They are deserving to be congratulated by such a beautiful love of God, with prizes, with more and more beautiful graces, more and more eternal and complete happiness, by more and more still proving graces over there in such high floors of their own beautiful paradise buildings, paradises buildings. So those people need to be congratulated, need to be rewarded with prizes, with more and more happiness by the graces. Uh, uh, and they needn't to be asked in a last day by such a beautiful love of God. And those people needn't to be asked by such a beautiful love of God, by their beautiful love of God in a last day, asking them about what? They were all the time, each one of them were all the time asking himself about the proper, what it has to be properly done by the real lover, and what it has not to be proper done by the real lover. He was all the time asking himself, each one of those three lovers in his first life, he was all the time asking himself about what it has to be properly done by the legal lover so that he can follow it, so that he can keep doing it, or keep saying it, or keep doing it. While those what it has not to be properly done, he was all the time get away of them and not even come close to them, even by his mind, even by his thinking. Because this is not proper. He already knew that such my beautiful lover God all the time see me, listen to me. So that's why I must be all the time in such proper way, in such a proper image that such my beautiful lover God wanted me to be in it or with it. So those three lovers, such three lover who is like that, needed to be asked by such his beautiful lover God in a last day, asking him about what? He didn't do anything wrong. He all the time was caring about doing what all properly done, what must. He all the time was caring about in his first life, which is the first floor of his, which must be considered by him as the first floor of his own beautiful paradise building. He was all the time in his first life caring about doing what it has to be properly done by the regal lover. He was all the time asking himself, all the time. So this regal lover needn't at all to be asked by such his beautiful lover God in a last day. But this regal lover needed to be congratulated by such his beautiful lover God, needed to be rewarded by such his beautiful lover God by more and more happiness, by more and more graces. This is what does the word the last day mean? As such, beautiful lover God want the creature to properly understand it. Of course, we don't care about the other people, some people who go far uh, and far away of such away of such a proper understand that such a beautiful lover God want the creature to properly understand it. We don't care about them at all, because that means unhappiness. We try all the time to carefully read the message and properly understand, seeking for winning such happiness. Because properly, carefully reading the message means properly understand and means lead to properly understand. Of course, lead to them, lead to properly imply and lead to win the happiness. While not caring about carefully reading the message, of course, lead to unhappiness. Another kind of believing, the last one, which is believing in destiny. Such a beautiful lover God has aimed getting the creature to believe in destiny as simply as the creature must believe in destiny as the destiny, his destiny, that has been destined to him is destined to him by such his beautiful love of God. This is what does the word. This is simply and shortly what does the word believing in destiny means. So that the creature must properly believe in that his destiny that has been destined to him by such his beautiful love of God, uh, the destiny that his destiny that has been destined to him by the Creator, he must properly understand that the Creator who destined to him such his destiny is such a beautiful love of God. So it must be a beautiful destiny that leads to more and more happiness, either in his first life or in the hereafter as well. So this is simply what does the word uh, believing in destiny means. This is what such a beautiful love of God. This is what such a beautiful love of God wants the creature to simply and properly understand the word destiny and believing in destiny. So this kind of believing in destiny, including two words, we already talked about one of them, which is the this. This kind of destiny, this kind of believing in destiny, including two more important words with its detailed explanation. The word this and the word unseen. We already talked about the word this. We already knew what does the word this mean and how to properly imply and how the creature can properly understand the word this so that he can properly believe in it as a certain proving part of the complete so that he can properly believe in it as a certain proving part in such his beautiful paradise building, which his own beautiful paradise building can never ever at all be a beautiful paradise building without. So it must be the word this here in this place, in its certain place, as a certain part. It must be in its certain place, so that his own beautiful paradise building can be an eternal and complete happiness building. If we remove this part from his own beautiful paradise building, it will never ever at all be a paradise building. So that's it. So the beautiful paradise building as a complete proving building upon the truth, it must be just like that by the whole of its certain parts altogether. As such a beautiful love of God wants the creature to know this building with the whole of its certain parts altogether. So that this here, it must be here, just like that, as a certain proving part in the paradise. In the paradise of the creature, meaning the complete proving building upon the truth, will never ever at all be a paradise, will never ever at all be a complete proving building upon the truth without the whole of its certain parts altogether. Even this atom of air, which is the smallest grace, this atom of air, the air is a grace. We are living by the air. We are breathing air. So this atom, such beautiful love of God, has paying our attention in the message to the name of the word atom. So this atom of air is a grace. So the paradise will never ever at all be a paradise without this. If we remove this atom of air from the paradise, it will never ever at all be a paradise. So the paradise must be just like that, a beautiful paradise building of the creature, meaning must be considered by the creature as a complete proving building upon the truth, that it is undoubtedly the truth, with the whole of its certain parts altogether. Each certain part must be in its certain place, just like that, meaning its certain part must be understood as such a beautiful love of God wants it to be understood by the creature, just like that. So the atom of air here must be here. So that this word, as a word, as a letter, as a meaning, as a proper understanding, as a proper believing, here, just like that. So it must be here, just like that. Meaning it must be understood, just like that. So believe for the last kind of believing, the believing in destiny, we simply knew how to properly believe in destiny. We will simply believe that our Creator, who has destined to each one of us, to each creature, his destiny, He is a beautiful lover God. So it must be a beautiful destiny to each creature. It's over. This is all what we can say about the believing in destiny. So this kind of believing in destiny, including two words with its detailed explanation, we already talked about one of them, which is the word of this. Now, for the second word, which is the unseen. The unseen is also one of such. The unseen, such a beautiful love of God, has aimed at getting the creature to properly understand the word unseen as one of those uncountable bestowed proving graces with which such a beautiful love of God is bestowing to the creature such bestowed proving happiness that must all totally be considered by the creature as his own beautiful paradise building, meaning his own eternal complete happiness building, meaning the complete proving building upon the truth, as a complete proving building upon the truth that it is undoubtedly the truth, meaning a complete proving building upon such a beautiful love of God in existence, and he is as well beautifully in beyond such creating, which is the image. So the unseen is one of such certain proving parts of your own beautiful paradise building. Your paradise will never ever at all be a paradise of eternal complete happiness, meaning your eternal and complete happiness building will never ever at all be eternal complete happiness without the unseen as a certain part of your own eternal, your own proving, your own beautiful paradise building, your own eternal complete happiness building. The unseen, without the unseen as a certain proving part, the complete proving building upon the truth, it's not going a complete proving building. So we will never ever at all know the truth completely. Why? Because we remove a certain proving part from it, which is the unseen. So the unseen is one of such uncountable bestowed proving graces, is one of such uncountable bestowed with which such beautiful love of God bestowing to the creature bestow proving happiness. It is a certain proving part of the paradise. It is the certain proving part in the complete proving building upon the truth that it is undoubtedly the truth. So, what is the wisdom behind preparing this word, preparing this meaning, preparing this proving preparation by such a beautiful love of God, which is the unseen? What is the wisdom by such a beautiful love of God? The more happiness that we can get from this proving preparation, from this word unseen, which is unseen as a proving preparation. Listen to me, please. The unseen, the wisdom behind proving this preparation is it makes the creature, such beautiful love of God, has aimed preparing this word, this proving preparation, which is the unseen, and he mentioned this word. He mentioned, such beautiful love of God mentioned this proving preparation with its word, with its name, with its, which is a beautiful name, a happiness name, which is one of such happiness names, beautiful names of the truth. All the truth words are happiness names, happiness meaning, happiness words. So such a beautiful love of God has mentioned this word in the message. Such a beautiful love of God has mentioned this proving preparation in the message with its meaning, with its letters, with each mentioned this word for getting the creature to know that this proving preparation, that it should be prepared by such a beautiful love of God for getting the creature to know his rank towards such his beautiful love of God. This proving preparation, this unseen, the unseen as a proving preparation, it should be prepared by such a beautiful love of God as a proving preparation with which he can get the creature to all the time remember his rank towards such his beautiful love of God. Remember himself as a creature, as just only a creature. who have been created by a creator, a God, who is a beautiful lover God, who is a beautiful creator, who is my creator, who is my God, who is able more than I, who has got more and more knowledge more than I, who knows everything while I know only few knowledge. And by the way, such a beautiful love of God has aimed at getting the creature to know very important explanation. Please listen carefully to it, which is getting the creature to know such a great God as a beautiful love of God with few knowledge, few amount of knowledge. That this is a proven preparation by such a beautiful love of God, which indicates to one of those holy, beautiful names of such a beautiful love of God, which is the merciful. So getting the creature to know such this great God by just a few amount of knowledge, that indicates that how much such a beautiful love of God is merciful. Really, He is merciful. We were waiting that as long as we are going to get to know such this great God, we are going to study more and more, and we are going to be exhausted by more and more words, more and more meanings, more and more. No, 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 no. Such a beautiful love of God has simply explained to you Himself as a beautiful love of God. Explain such a beautiful love of God, such a beautiful love of God, in the getting you to know Him, to know such this great God, such a beautiful love of God, who is great in everything, great in His love, great in His wisdom, great in His beauty, great in His sustaining to you, great in His everything. So such a beautiful love of God has in the getting you to know such greatness of Him by only few amount of knowledge, and just for getting you to know Him as a merciful, just for getting you to, this is a proven preparation with which He aimed at getting you to know Him, to know one of His holy beautiful names with which He aimed at getting you to know Him as a beautiful love of God, which is the aim of merciful. So here we are. The more such our beautiful love of God get us to properly understand, the more we properly understand. The more such our beautiful love of God is teaching to us properly, the more we properly learn, the more we properly understand the truth more and more. The more such our beautiful love of God teaching to us each part of happiness by each grace, the part after another, the more the creature, the more you meet and each creature properly understand the truth more and more, reaching finally to such obvious and complete understand to the whole truth by the all of its certain parts altogether. Meaning, the more we properly understand such a beautiful love of God real existence, and His beautiful real aim behind starting creating, which is the aim of love. I have finished talking about the word belief. I have finished talking about, I think I have finished talking about uh, religion in more details. I just wanted to talk to you specifically about what does the word belief mean, and what until you the kinds of believing as such you pray for love of God would you to know it, to properly understand it, so that you can properly believe such those kinds of believing. I have finished. Um, I think this is the proper time to say we come to the end of this episode. Till we come next episode, till we meet again in the next episode, I love you.